Hi, my name is Kerry Dunn. I'm the author of the perennial best-selling novel Joe Peace. I'd like to say before I go any further that Joe Peace is actually neither perennial nor best-selling, but it is a novel, so I've got that going in my favor. I was advised to put that disclaimer in on behalf of my attorneys. The statements were for entertainment purposes only and should in no way be construed with reality. Rather than do the standard author sitting in front of his/her webcam talking about a book, I decided today to take some questions from my international audience, or actually it appears this is just national audience. I did have one international reader, Boris, who was incarcerated in the Utrecht prison in Minsk, but Boris rode the lightning last night, so he won't be joining us today. Before I go any further, I just want to say that some of the letters I received are incredibly bizarre, and I can't read those on air. I also get various objects as well. Once I received an ear. I've received 2 or 3 thumbs that appeared to be human in form. And even the other day, I received these Led Zeppelin boxer shorts. Don't know what I'll do with them. I guess wear them. You can never have enough boxer shorts. So, the questions I'm going to read are of the PG variety. And our first question is from Agnes in Sallowwood, Texas. And Agnes wants to know, what is Joe Peace about? And that's a great question to start this off today, Agnes. Thank you. Joe Peace is the story of a criminal leader, mastermind, of a crew in Austin, Texas. And for those who aren't familiar, Austin is a city in central Texas where hippies go to die, but then don't. Joe's backstory is that he was once a homicide investigator on the Austin Police Department, and he's felled by 2 addictions. The first is an addiction to cocaine back in the 80s, and the second is an addiction to his partner, Cassie Dugan, who's a climber in the APD at a time when the APD really didn't look too fondly on women climbing, or anything else of that nature. Joe's crippling problems with these 2 lead him to jump the fence and become the leader of his own crew. And in present day, that crew is getting killed off by rival gang members, compounded with the fact that some clues start to surface regarding Cassie's death some 20 years earlier, and Joe's caught in the middle between corrupt police officials and obviously corrupt gang leaders and members to take over his turf and to put him down once and for all. Joe is trying to find his way out of this while dealing with other issues and actually trying to become a better person because he knows that this life has led him down the wrong path. And therein, I guess, lies the rub. So, Agnes, thank you for that first question. Since we did read it first, you will receive a box of Quaker oatmeal signed by me. You can expect that in the mail within the next month or so. All right. Our next question is from Magenta. She's currently on the main stage at the Top Heavies Men Club in Des Moines, Iowa. And Magenta wants to know, why should we care about Joe Peace? Well, that's also a good question. It's not every day that you find some hardened criminal who had so many moral, destructive things in his past that you want to root for. And what saves Joe is his desire to be a good person again. His doesn't always work toward it the way other people do, but he is working towards it. But also I think the novel shows Joe's gallows humor, what the New York Times might refer to as a mordant sense of humor, if the New York Times ever bothered to review the book, slackers. And Joe is appealing for that matter. He's not the most perfect person, but neither are any of us. And he's actually a human being striving to do something better with his life at a point where it might be too late, but he's not going to give up doing that. So it's an engaging story, believe it or not, of a criminal mastermind who's not exactly a mastermind but is indeed criminal. And I think for that reason, for the humor, for his genuine love for Cassie Dugan and his belief in his friends, that makes Joe worth rooting for and worth reading. All right. Our next question is from, oh, by the way, Magenta, I'm sorry I skipped out on that last $20 table dance. You went to the restroom and I had to leave. But I promise the next time I'm back in Des Moines, I'll make it up to you. Okay, so our next question is, well, let's see here. When is Mr. Rossetti going to get his $3,000 back? It better be soon or they ain't going to be a sequel. Signed, Salvador Sally Icepick Indiglio. Well, Mr. Ice Pick, or Mr. Indiglio, I probably shouldn't have read that on the air, but now that I have, I'd like you to know that Mr. Rossetti can expect to receive his money, some money, a third or a fourth. Can't remember if a third is bigger than a fourth. That always confuses me. But anyway, he'll get some money. I've got to get 20 to Magenta in Des Moines, and then Mr. Rossetti's next on my list. I've had some setbacks recently. Had to buy a new pair of slacks for a christening. Had to buy some school supplies. I'm not in school, but I do like buying school supplies. It's one of those quirky writer things you wouldn't understand. So, thank you very much, Mr. Sally Ice Pick. Okay, our last question today is going to be from the Henderson family in Jasper, Wyoming. And the Hendersons want to know, if Sally Ice Pick doesn't rub you out, when can we expect a sequel? Well, Henderson family, by the way, loved your movie. I hope Harry came back and everything worked out all right for you guys. The sequel is being written right now, and it's kind of continuing Joe's journey after the deluge that his life became in Joe Peace. And while I'm not the fastest writer, I'm also not the slowest writer, but I do have a day job, which people advise me constantly not to quit, that kind of occupies a great deal of my time. So I write in productive but small periods of time. So it takes a little while, but Joe Peace, the sequel, which I'm currently debating on a title, will be finished by me hopefully later this year, early part of 2013, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for taking time to spend with me today. Again, my novel is Joe Peace. Get that in there for you. It's available through Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It's by Shelf Stealers Publishers, or put out through Shelf Stealers Publishers, which is run by Cheryl Dunn, no relation, and it's a wonderful publishing house. They believe in their authors and they support them, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you again. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.